Mic check, mic check. Floor plan. Cameras to room floor plan. CJ's Hamster, what's up, buddy? How are you? Dynasty 9000, hello, hello. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in, welcome in. How's everybody doing tonight? How is everybody doing? We just got started. We just got started. Right, meow. DND VNC, what up? What up? How's it going? What's up, YouTube? For those of you guys just joining over on YouTube, if this is your first time here, welcome in. The way that this works essentially is if you have any questions about a specific camera that you might be thinking about buying, please let me know in the comments below and we'll try to work it out for you. And I'll give you my opinion on a camera that would be right for you in your specific situation. The things that I need from you, though, is just for you to let me know what your budget is, what you intend on using the camera for, and what camera you're currently looking at. Because most of the time, you guys already have a decent idea of what camera you're thinking about using anyways, right? Question over on TikTok, is the Canon EOS 80D a good camera? It's an okay camera. It's an okay camera. It's 2 a.m., brother. Wonder Tough, what up, buddy? How are you, man? Where are you at, bro? You must be in Europe somewhere. 2 a.m. is it's late, bro. Over here on the East Coast, it is like 8:30, I think. How about the M50? I like the M50 a lot. Definitely like the M50. Germany. Auf Wiedersehen, is that goodbye? Guten Tag. I think that's thank you, right? Let's see, hold on, guys. Is my chat coming in? All right, chat's coming in. Chat's coming in. Have you ever tried the RF 24 to 50? No, that's the kit lens, right? I don't really recommend any kit lenses, just because, I mean, I recommend them if they came with your camera. But if people really want kit lenses, I tell them to buy it used. I bought that lens yesterday. What lens? The 24 to 50? How about the M50 Mark II? M50 Mark II is nice, dude. I'm headed to get this $400 R50 now. Nice, Malik. What time is it, bro? It's late, bro. You better not get shanked, Malik. I don't know if you remember. I don't, buddy, unfortunately. Guten Tag. My millionaire neighbor is doing life in jail for stealing 5 ferrets. Okay, cool. Can you check out my TT? I'm not doing any reviews, Mattis. About the Ducher stream. I don't know what you just said. It sounds fancy, though. Sounds fancy. Hey, 7 viewers over on YouTube. What up, YouTube? For those of you guys that are just joining in the YouTube front, TikTok pretty much already knows what to do, but essentially, if you have any questions about any camera gear that you guys might be thinking about purchasing for yourself, whether it's for your personal use, or you're trying to grow a business, or you want to be a streamer, a gym bro, a lifestyle girly, or anything like that, just photo, video, let me know what cameras you're thinking about, and we'll walk through it together. Thank you for the heart me, appreciate it. Ooh, woo. The 20-year-old one I told you about. Oh, yeah, I do remember. Andrew B, what up, buddy? I am live right now on TikTok. Nice, bro. Nice. Let's check out your stream. Let's see. What kind of content you make anyways, broski? Let's see.
So I'm a little bit embarrassed right now because now this dude's about to actually look at my stream.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna put you on blast, bro. I'm gonna put you on blast right here. Here is my man.
What's up,
Andrew? What up, broski? What up, man?
Oh,
Good
shit.
to see you.
Like, oh shit.
What are
What's
we
up,
talking
man?
about over there, bro?
Okay. I like had you playing through my headphones right now, so I could hear you, but I did just mute you right now because it sounds wild. I'm gonna hop into your YouTube stream in a second and listen. But yeah, man. So as far as the kind of content I make, I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm all over the place. But yeah, thanks for re-inspiring me to actually start doing it. I tried to dial in my audio, sounding a little bit like Peter McKinnon's, kind of.
It sounds crispy.
I'm gonna have to just get one of those Shure microphones.
Yeah, it sounds crispy. It sounds nice. Yeah, definitely. It definitely sounds nice. What is this foreground here that you have in front of you?
I'm like muting and unmuting you right now because I hear myself playback, which I'm sure you know.
You know what? Let me turn that off so that way it's a little bit easier on you.
I'm just gonna hear myself. I used to work for PlayStation. Thank you. Yeah. So I used to work for PlayStation. This is from that. So like, I just like to have it there as foreground element. I put a light right here. So like it's nowhere near as cool as your setup is, but I put a light right there. So, but so you can kind of see it. So I can like product showcase, but yeah, I'm just trying to work on this setup as much as I can, but camera's right here. So I can at least zoom in, but yeah.
Yo, talk about your gear a little bit, bro. Talk about your gear a little bit. What is it actually? What kind of gear are you using?
A7 IV. So Sony A7 IV, 16 to 35 GM Mark II. I have the Blue Yeti. Amaran 200 Mark D is what's lighting me. So, Amaran PT1C is right there. I hate that it's in the frame, but if I crop in, it doesn't look so bad. And then this is just a really old Amaran. I forget what that is, but it's like this really small light. And then right here is my everyday carry, Sony A7 CR. So yeah.
Nice, man. Well, hey, listen, it was nice popping in. I'm gonna catch you in the live
I'm running
here.
everything through my MacBook Pro, which, by the way, man, yeah.
You said you're running through a MacBook Pro?
All right.
All right, broski. Peace out, man.
Yep.
That's our buddy Andrew here. He's live in the chat. He says he's shooting with an A7 IV. Pretty nice setup, man. Pretty nice stream. Not gonna lie. Looks clean. For that stream, just to give a little bit of feedback, some unsolicited kind of feedback on the stream that he was just on right there. He had a controller that was right in front that was giving some foreground. The way he placed it, it kind of looked like it was like kind of like right here. If I were to do something like that, I'd probably frame myself with it. So like I would have it over on TikTok instead of placing it like right in front here. I would probably place it like off to the edge like this so that it framed me in and created a little bit of a boundary. But his image looked clean, man. We were talking, he and I were talking, what was it, about a week ago or so? And I was checking out his YouTube channel. He was thinking about just getting back into it. So one of the things that we talked about, and he mentioned it kind of briefly about me like kind of swaying his opinion about getting back into it. We talked about, because I think he's a comp sci guy, or he might be a product engineer. I forget what his actual technical background is. But what we talked about was MVP. And he said, I categorized it, I think incorrectly, and he corrected me, but MVP stands for minimum viable product. And I applied that kind of thinking to because I used to work in a production line as a production manufacturing manager. And MVP essentially stands for minimum viable product. And how I apply that to everything that I do is I don't overanalyze all of the things before I start doing something. So a perfect example would be like streaming. When I started this back in November, I had absolutely no idea how to really do anything. So I've gone live a couple of times, but just messing around. But instead of me obsessing about having the perfect gear, the perfect lighting, the perfect framing, I just went live and then really started ugly and started messy, and then over time iterated and tried to improve and improve and improve. And that's the idea of like a minimum viable product in product development. When companies are thinking about a product design or a product launch, they start with what is an MVP and they send it out into the world to get feedback, and then they use that feedback to improve the product. In this case, I was using the feedback of you guys, the actual audience, and kind of just improving on a little bit on every single live. You know, it's like that whole Mr. Beast concept, get 1% better every single time. And that's kind of like the idea, because we often, and I'm sure that, let me know if you guys can relate, oftentimes we obsess over these little things that we never even start, right? We never even start doing something, but it's a lot better to just get it going, start ugly, start messy, and just improve a little bit each and every single time. And I've applied that to like everything that I do, the whole MVP philosophy, minimum viable product. It is essentially 4 products, but apply that to your life and everything that you do, and you're going to see at least some progress, some forward momentum, which is what you need, right? Very cool. Most value player, right? That MVP could also be the most valuable player. In product design though, MVP is a little different. Yo, bro, I want a camera for nature pictures and sports photography. Should I go for the A7 III? You should, bro. Minimum viable product. There you go, my man. Thank you, Andrew, for the correction once again. Took your advice and moved to the controller a bit. Yeah, yo, Andrew, your setup look clean, broski. You know, on my setup, by the way, I'm sure that you know, and it might not be your style, but I have a black mist filter on my lenses, and that's what gives me like that halation kind of glowy look. I'm sure you're aware of what a black mist filter is, but that's what I use to get this kind of like glowy look. But it looked clean, broski. It looked clean, man. Great work on it. 6700 or A7 IV? I'm sorry, 6700 or A7C2. I would go with the full frame. It depends really on what you're doing though, broski. Viable product. Michael Libby, what's up, buddy? I once heard about 2 bands both practice. The one band started taking gigs and performing, the other still practicing. The other, exactly, bro. Exactly, man. It's a very simple concept once you like think about it. There are some brands, you know, like I would look at Apple, and then I would look at like Samsung or like Android, and like, if you guys are familiar with those 2 phone companies, Apple doesn't release a product until it is absolutely meticulously like refined and like made into this perfect like product, right? Where Samsung and an Apple, they'll start releasing shit. They'll release shit after release and release and release, and they use that like data to like improve it like incrementally over time. Exact same concept, dude. Exact same, completely different philosophies. Both can be successful at scale. But when it comes to us, we just find excuses, right? To like, we just find excuses to like delay starting something. Anyways, the black mist filters, guys, that I'm using, I think I got a couple here listed. There's a shimmer diffusion one, the one that I'm using. Are they on here? I have one from Polar Pro. Here they are, black mist. So these are the ones that I use, black mist. They sell a couple of different ones. They sell 1/8 and they sell 1/4 ones. I like both of them, the 1/4 and the 1/8. Typically for my streams though, I like the 1/8 ones. They're just what I need. The 1/4 is like crazy strong. Crazy strong. Yo, man, check out the MacBook. I saw a couple things on the MacBook Neo, man. There's an MVP product right there, bro. It's just enough to get you started, you know what I mean? Just enough to get you started. Yeah, I did check out the Neo. I'm not an Apple guy though. I've never owned any Apple products. Never owned any Apple products. More of a Samsung guy, Android, and Windows PC type of person. All right, where are we at? Did I miss any comments here? Let's see. I think I might have missed a couple. Shako, yo, I got a Canon T7 when it came out. I just started using it. I want to upgrade to a 70D. Do it, bro. MacBook Neo looks like it's created for 5-year-old children. No, I like the colors. The person that I think the MacBook Neo is for is... It's 13 inches, so it's super duper small. So I think it's for somebody that was like looking for an iPad, like a nice iPad that has like an integrated keyboard. You know what would be cool? Does the Neo have the same chip as the iPad? Because I think that would be like a decent PC or a decent like MacBook. You know what I mean? Because I think they have like a cell phone chip in them. But if they would have like gone with like something as powerful as an iPad, like an iPad Pro or whatever they're called. A18, yeah. If they would have used the processor or the chip from an actual like tablet that they have, like a premium tablet, I think that would have been really, really good. But it's their MVP, right? They're gonna put it out there, and they're going to see what the audience, the general public, the consumer says, and then they're gonna come back, and a year from now, it's a good market. That like $600 price point is really attractive, man. They're gonna sell 1 million of those fucking things if they haven't already. You know what I mean? Funny enough, it's more powerful than an M4 iPad. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. I thought that it was less powerful. I thought that if it was equally as powerful as an iPad, then they're gonna sell 1 million of those fucking things, man. Does anybody in chat own the MacBook Neo? Is it out yet? I seen it all over Facebook. What did I say? I saw it all over my Instagram feed today. CJ's Hamsters. I want advice. How many times should I post a week to grow my new photography channel on TikTok? You should post every day, multiple times a day, CJ's Hamster. Every single day. It just came out. Okay, got it. Yeah, does anybody own it? Yeah, the new MacBook, it's not going to be for everybody, man. I don't think that's what they were targeting, like everybody. I think they were targeting they're going to sell 1 million of those things though, man. They're going to sell literally 1 million of those fucking things. Yeah, they're going to sell a lot of them. 13 inches on a laptop though, seems like, I wonder if it can run, it could probably run an editing, you know, I think yeah. If it can fund Final Cut Pro, I think that would be a killer deal. A killer deal. If it can run Premiere Pro, or it probably runs Final Cut a lot better because it's an Apple product, you know, probably optimized better. But if it can run that, shit, dude, they're gonna be selling 1 million of those easy. Do you think the Sony 15 f1.4 is a good lens to pair with my Tamron 17 to 67? Do you need a wider, if you need a wider lens, Kian? Yeah, if you need a wider lens, 100%, dude. 100%. 9 viewers over on TikTok. By the way, guys, over on TikTok, I got a poll going, same one from this morning. It is asking you what kind of content creator you are. The options right now are photo, video. For one, are you a streamer? Are you a gym bro? Or are you a lifestyle girly? CJ's Hamster. What kind of creator are you, CJ's Hamster? Would you buy a Canon 50mm lens RF mount Sextant or brand new? What is sextant? Second hand, I'm assuming, is what you tried to say. They're pretty cheap, bro. The RF 50mm. How much is that lens, anyways? I would check the prices. So what is this? 229. What is? Why is it not coming up? RF 50mm. Here it is. I feel like my PC's running odd. The screens aren't loading. 219 new. What does MPB have it for? I upgraded my NVIDIA graphics driver, and every time I do that, it acts a little funny afterwards. Like it takes a little while for it to like settle in or something. Brand new, it costs almost as much as it does used. So I'd probably go ahead and buy it, unless I can get it for like $150, $120. I'd probably just go ahead and buy it brand new, $220, you know? Pretty inexpensive, in my opinion. Secondhand. Yeah, I figured you said secondhand. Hamster Advice is another new one channel about photography and videography. Oh, sick, bro. DJ's, I'll have to check out your account, bro. Do you post a lot? Go to channel. Let's check out CJ's Hamsters. All right, guys, here is CJ's Hamsters channel. Look at this, 25 subs, 40. CJ's Hamsters is doing it, man. Is this you, or is this a different channel? Or Hamsters Advice, and another new one. Which one is your photography channel? CJ's Hamsters. Would the MacBook Neo be good for photo editing? I know that it can run Lightroom. But so yeah, I think it can. If it's as powerful as an iPad and it can run Lightroom Classic, I think it could do it. For sure. I have a ZVE 10 for photos, as I have a laptop but no video, as it can't handle it. Okay. But I want to learn both. Okay. Thundercat man, what is your question there, buddy? What is your question there? 14 viewers over on TikTok. All right. 6 on the YouTubes. Best all-rounder lens for the 6100. The 18 to 50. 18 to 50 from Sigma. This guy right here. 18 to 50 Sigma all-rounder. If you want something wider, they also have the 10 to 18 right here. By the way, guys, you can find all of these links linked in my bio if you're on TikTok, and if you're on YouTube, you can find all of these links as the first link in my description. You a video guy at all? Just picked up a C50. Nice, bro. I have a C50 as well. C50 is good. I've only used it a couple of times on paid projects, but I think I'm gonna start making YouTube videos with it. I got a YouTube. Oh, that's what I needed, right? I got a YouTube video that I'm gonna make tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna be recording a YouTube video. I'm gonna title it something like if I started content creation again, I would do this first. Something like that. Something I'd workshop that title, but record YouTube video. If I started over. I would do this. And basically what it's going to be is like, it's going to be like a gear list, a list of gear that I would buy first, like from an entry level. I have a family member that's just getting into like cameras and like learning about content creation slowly. So that's where that idea came from. And then I saw on YouTube, doing my research, that YouTube right now has a bunch of videos titled, "If I started over, I'd do this." So if I started, insert what that is, and then I'd do this. And that's kind of like the idea that I'm playing with right there. So I'm going to give a whole gear list and a walkthrough of all of the gear that I would use to, like, you know, I'm going to probably do like at an entry level budget. So like, if you have a cell phone already, maybe everything costs less than $500 or something like that. And just create a list around that, you know? Tell me about Thundercat. I need a lens, but I don't know what to get. I shoot in the dark areas like theaters and sport photos. Why do you shoot in dark areas? Is a Canon EOS R50 good? Hell yeah, dude. The R50 is sick, bro. R50 is my most recommended camera, broski. Tell me about wedding videographer for best quality camera. R6 Mark III or the A7 IV. That's what I would do. I'm a school photographer, so they need me for their event. So you need a lens that has a bright aperture, a super wide aperture, like an f1.8, an f2.8, an f1.4, an f1.2. And it's dark in there. Just took a cigar lounge as a client, and it's dark in there. Yeah, you should bring in some lights though. You should definitely bring in some of your own lights, because working in super dark areas, like, that's probably a vibe or whatever, but filming in super dark areas is not ideal, dude. You're gonna have a really tough time. I will probably get a Sigma 18-35 and see how that. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's a nice lens for sure. Yeah, something nice and bright like that. A 1.8. That's a nice focal range too. 18-35. Hell yeah. Which lens would you recommend for the Canon R50V for videos? Right here, broski. This lens right here. I actually have it set up right now with this. The R50V with this lens right here, and that's this top-down shot right here. I use this for like product shots and stuff, and then I use it for stuff like, it's a little dark in here. Brighten this up. So this lens right here is an 18-50, and whenever I do product shoots, actually I got a new product in today from this brand that's been sending me their stuff. These headphones right here, they're like $120. I was like, holy shit, nice. But they've been sending me headphones for a while, a couple sets of headphones, and then they sent me a watch a while back. So I've been making content for them. And they recently sent me this, so I'm pretty excited about that. That's how it all starts, guys. It starts with like a couple of like cheaper items, and then you make content and you build a rapport with the people. I guess that's one thing I can talk about. When you guys get first started working with brands, whether it's like actual commercial brands or you're working for mom and pop shops, it starts small. And as long as you're not a dick or have like resting bitch face syndrome, excuse me, like you're actually a nice person, they'll give you more work over time. Like it'll grow, dude. It'll definitely grow. I'm worried about I won't get enough range as I'm only have the kit lens. Yep. I want to do travel videos with friends, ideally. Cool. All right, how do you have the camera mounted in that top down? Oh, I have I don't think I can show you. Can I show you? Is this able to move? No, I have this hold on. Can you guys see in this camera here? So I have this pole. I'll show you what the product is, and it's just mounted overhead on me. And the product that I have is called show you. It's a let's see, overhead rig. I think it's from Newer is what I got it from. Newer, I just started doing stuff for them as well. Newer overhead. Overhead desk. So I have a bunch of these. Look at this. You guys can see I purchased this, but this is the one that you're talking about right here. So I have this, and my desk actually, guys, because this gives you the how long the pole is right here. My desk is longer than the pole that's provided, so I had to buy a separate pole. But the pole adjusts, here we go, look. So your desk needs to be 47 inches. Yeah, 47.2 inches or 120 centimeters. So I had to buy a different pole, but the poles are universal because they just go onto what are called baby pins. And then I use, in addition to that, I use this, my favorite kind of clamps are from, what are they called? iFootage. These are expensive, but they are very, very nice. These ones right here, iFootage spider arms. They're expensive, but like, you know, other brands sell cheaper ones. But I wouldn't trust the cheaper ones with my $1,500 camera, right? Wonder Tough, have a good night, bro. Have a good night. Shani, I'm really unsure if I have invested into the wrong camera brand. Why do you think you invested in the wrong camera brand? I heard about the DJI Osmo 360 action camera is decent. Any thoughts on it? 360 cams are sick. I have a lot of them. I have 3 of them. Not the DJI one. I have the Insta360, but the 360 from DJI I think has a bigger sensor, which is very cool. But because I already have 3 360 cameras, I wasn't about to buy a 4th. Benjamin Rickerby. Hello, Benjamin Rickerby. How are you? Just got my R50 as my first camera with an 18-45. What would you say is the first upgrade lens to be? Benjamin Rickerby, I'm glad you asked, buddy. It's this lens right here. The Sigma 18-50 f2.8. If you want another zoom lens. This is the one I recommend for everybody. Sold my ZR. Why'd you do that, Gary? Give me some details on that, buddy. I have a 72-inch desk. Yeah, me too. Is mine 72? I think mine is also 72. So I had to buy a separate, so with that information, mine is 72 as well. So with that info, I bought a different one. So I had to buy, what is it called? Baby pin extending pole, I think. Extending pole. Let's see if that comes up. I had to buy something like this. I looked for it. I can't remember exactly where. But yeah, I had to buy an extender. Or what was it called? No, it was called a backdrop pole. I'm sure that they probably sold yeah, this, here we go. Bought it. Yeah, bought it in January. I purchased 2 of these fucking things. These are great to have around. So I bought this thing, the extender thing, or where is it? I lost it already, but I had to buy one of these as well. And then this extends out to 10 feet. But I can use this, I can move this around, I can take it somewhere else, you know, so. Yeah, problem solving, man. Thoughts on the new MacBook Media? What up, Chase? I thought it was cool, man. I personally wouldn't spend my money on it just because I don't have much of a need for it, but I think it's good for like basic edits. If you're like a Instagram shorts creator and uses a very simple, doesn't do much color grading, you know, because then it'll probably bog down on you. But like simple edits and stuff like that, hell yeah. I truthfully, I think it's more curated for like productivity, like watching YouTube, doing homework, writing documents, homework, you know, stuff like that. Benjamin Rickerby, holy crap, that'll need a bit of savings. I have got a question on that though. What's your question, buddy? What's a good camera flash? Anything from Godox is the brand that I recommend for flashes. That's the one that everybody seems to be really happy with. So Godox flashes. What makes that one so much better than the 50? If you don't mind me explaining, I would appreciate. The 18 to 45 that you have is a kit lens, and that lens has a variable aperture. These lenses right here have a what's called a constant aperture. It's an f2.8, meaning that all the way through the focal length of 18 to 50, you're going to have a constant f2.8. Variable apertures, they start 18 at like 18 millimeters. They start at the lowest aperture, maximum aperture. And then as you extend to 45, it will increase or decrease the aperture. It'll let less light in, which is not desirable. That's why these lenses are significantly better. And truthfully, all of the lenses that I recommend are all constant aperture lenses. Oh, that's awesome. Could you mount that on some light stands? Yeah. So it has the baby pin connector. So these little holes right here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but these little holes right here, they're specifically made to go into a baby pin, and it just like kind of hooks on. So all you need is a baby pin. But what I would do probably, broski, is I would see if I can find a newer desk mount. I would see if I could find one of these that already has a long enough pole. That way you don't have to buy two things. That's what I wish I would have done. But this desk is just 72 inches, super long. So, and I bought these things for like another desk that I have in my other studio. Hey, suggest me a wide lens for the Sony E mount. The Sigma 12mm lens. Sigma 12mm, this guy right here. If you have a APS-C lens, that's what I would get, this guy. This is a really nice lens. What do you think about the Canon EOS RP for streaming? Use it, bro. Hell yeah. I see. When choosing, is there a set aperture I should go for? I always like to shoot in like f2.8, f2, what is the other one? f3.5, as low as possible. Man, YouTube feed again. Frank Revs, what up, Frank Revs? How are you? How is it going over on YouTube? Over on the YouTube land, how are you guys? What kind of cameras are you guys using? None of you guys are all of you guys are photo and video. None of you guys are gym bros or lifestyle girlies. Okay, all photo and video people, that's okay. What kind of cameras are you guys using? Shani, do you prefer Sony or Canon colors? Canon colors, for sure. Can you critique my photos, please? I'm not doing any live photo reviews, Willie. Pink Unicorn, hey. What's up, Pink Unicorn? How was you got a good weekend planned for yourself? You have linked to all your camera lenses? Yeah, Thundercat, if you guys are interested in the links and any links that I have, you can find my links in if you're on TikTok, you can click on my profile page, and then I have a link in bio there, and you can find all of the links to the stuff that I'm talking about here. If you're on YouTube, I have it as the first link in my description. Opinion on the 70 to 300mm lens. I've never used it personally. If it has a variable aperture though, I'm not a big fan. R6 Mark II, sick. Buy a Lumix. You have the S9, right? Dynasty 9000. Buy a camera, buy a Nikon. Ooh, I don't know. Full frame, though wide lens. Oh, I would check out the what is it called? The Lao Wow? I forget what it was spelled. Laowa, here it is. Laowa 10 millimeter. This is the lens that everybody's buying right now for the full frame. This is a really nice lens. 10 millimeters, f2.8. This is nice right here. Frank Revs, currently rocking my dream setup, an A7R5 with a ooh-wee. That's nice, dude. I'm going to rest, LOL, this weekend. This week was a week. Nice, dude. Yeah, good for you, Pink Unicorn. Good for you. I'm going to be doing the same shit I always do, creating content, you know. The huge Wave Shaper. Hey, bro, love what you do. Appreciate it, broski. Appreciate it. Canon cinema bodies, for some reason, can't adjust the iris aperture on my Tamron. Huh, that's interesting. I wonder why that is. What kind of adapter do you have? You have any pics posted with your Fuji? With my Fuji. I don't even know. Actually, I don't even know. I haven't taken out my Fuji in a long time. Let me see. You'd have to go to my Instagram, but let me see if I can find any off the top of my head. What was taken with my Fuji? It must have been a long time ago. At least a year since oh, here we go. I went to a baseball game. So I went to a baseball game with my Fuji and I captured these. So I went to a Phillies game. My bosses, the guys that I work for, have season tickets, and throughout the year they give them away. You just have to ask for them if they're available. And I took this photo. Took this photo of the Philly Fanatic. Super dreamy, super nice photos, nice colors. And then this guy pointing at me. He was like, that guy, that's the guy. And then this photo here, the baseball players. And then, hey, who's that guy right there? Who's that guy? This is one of my best friends, for a work best friend. He and I came up together in the job, and I had some extra tickets, and I was like, hey, I wonder if he has a son. And I was like, let's see if he goes to a baseball game. So I took him to a baseball game. And then what else? Let's see. Do I remember this one? I think he got a home run here. I just happened to catch it. This was with another camera though. Yeah, I think he got I don't know if it was a home run actually. No, it wasn't. Let's see. Fuji photos. Man, I love going through my old stuff. This is why I never delete stuff, guys. These were with the Fuji camera, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, these were with the Fuji camera as well. This is one of those portals that like sees to the other side of the world. You guys ever seen them? My other channel is through iFinder. What's the best camera under 7K for photography base? Excuse me, 7K USD? That's a lot, bro. You can get anything. Yeah, Fuji's cool, dude. Here's a picture of my Fuji. This is when I had just bought it. Wow, 2024. Look at that. Yeah, I must have just bought it around this time here. Yeah, I did. Wow, it came out 2 years ago. That's crazy. I need to use it more, and then I must have taken these photos with it. This is when I first started that new job. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I need to use it more. Definitely need to use it more. It's good for detail, especially what's the best camera setup for under 7K Sony photography base? I would probably get an A7 IV for sure, an A7 V and a 24-70. Amilcar Barca, what do you think about the Lumix S9 and what lens would you pick? I do like the S9. If Dynasty 9000 is in here, he owns one. He could talk to you a little bit about it, but I like the S9. For me, I would only buy it if I had unlimited money, but it is a cool looking camera. Street photography with the Fuji, that would be sick. That would be sick. It's such a cool camera. And the Fuji X106, they bumped up the megapixels to 40 or 45, so it has a lot of like flexibility because it's a fixed lens, right? Osiris, what up, bro? Hey bro, what is your Instagram? Osiris, thanks for asking. If you guys are interested in any of the links in my social media, my YouTube channel, you can find it right here if you click on my profile picture, and you can find it in my link in bio. I got everything linked right there. I use a R50V. Dynasty 9000. Lumix S9 is a great backup camera. Okay, so pay attention. He said backup camera. Why is it a backup camera, Dynasty? Let the people know, man. Let the people know. 8 viewers over on YouTube. What's going on, YouTube? 100% of you guys are photo and video only. Okay, okay. For details, 35mm is really good, but if you want full portrait of a car, you need, let's see. Boss, hi, what do you think of the R6 Mark II? Boss, R6 Mark II? Thumbs up, bro. Thumbs up. Yeah. 100%. Hey, for 24-70 between Sigma and Tamron, which would you give me better image? I'd go with the Sigma. I'd go Sigma over Tamron any day. So for most things, I leave it at 35 for best detail. 35 is a nice focal range. 35 is my favorite focal range of all time. I look for a 35 almost in every single lens that I own. 35 is really good. Which would you get, an A7R4 or an A7S3 or the Canon Mark II? What are you looking to do with it, boss? Lumix S5 2X for video on one hand and a gimbal to Lumix S9 for photos in the other. There you go. That's a nice combo. Both full frame. That is a nice little combo. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. Wedding events and just normal photos. I would probably go with either the Canon Mark II or the A7R4. The A7R4, they tell me that it has like not super fast readout speeds, but I'd be really interested for photography in the, what does that one have, like 60 megapixels? Like Jesus Christ, dude. A7R4. Yeah, let's check that one out. 61 megapixels, bro. Holy shit. God damn. I'd be really interested in this camera for that reason. Especially if you're going to be doing photography with it. Yeah, dude. Here it is, right? The 10 FPS shooting. So the readout speed is like really limiting. So, but if you're doing wedding stuff, you know, 10 FPS is more than enough. But I think that that's crazy. 10 FPS for a camera that costs. But again, the 61 megapixels is crazy. Does anybody own an A7R camera? Over on the YouTube land, anybody own an A7R4, A7R camera of any kind? Frank Revs, man, any tips on how to meet models? I'm kind of socially awkward. Models like to take pictures of? You just got to reach out to them, man. In the photo community, you're going to be surprised that a lot of female and male male talent are already photographers themselves. Not always, but yeah, just networking, reaching out to them on Instagram, checking out your local area to see if there's any talent around. Going outside and seeing if there's any meet people, you know what I mean? Yeah, just meeting people. Whenever I've worked with models, we've hired them and we just go through a talent agency and like we put a posting out. Like these are all models that I've worked with before. This is a model right here. We hired her for the day. But I've worked with models and we just reach out to them. A lot of them are friends, you know what I mean? Like this model right here, she wasn't a friend of mine, but she was a friend of the makeup artist. But one of the best relationships that I developed over the years was working with this makeup artist. Not this one, but she works as a fashion designer and she gives me like creative work all the time. Little projects and stuff. Yeah, here she is again. We hired her for a day. Here's another model that we worked with. But we were doing like product shoots and stuff. So we just worked through a talent agency. Working with professional models is nice, dude. Also going to styled shoots. There's if you guys look in your local area, depending on where you live, I'm not going to say this is universal, but here in Philadelphia, and I'm sure this is true in a lot of other places, there are companies that all that they do is they connect models with photographers and they host what are called styled shoots. So they'll hire professional models and they'll rent spaces out and kind of make it into a scene or like an event, and then they sell tickets to photographers to come in, and could be $100, $150 for the day, and you come in with your camera gear and it's used as photographers for them to develop a portfolio. And that's a really good inexpensive way, and plus you get to meet models there, you male and female, and you also get to meet and network with other photographers. So comment over on YouTube. A67 or the FX30 for social media content. IG, YouTube. Want to level up my content, but truly making it reflect my personal brand. The 67 would be a nice hybrid, like 50-50 video. If you want to do mostly video, the FX30 for sure. Julia says you always pick the best songs. Thank you, Julia. I spend a lot of time. Instagram has some nice songs. What camera do you use? I use an R6 Mark III and an R5 Mark II and the C50 for my paid work. I need help choosing a username, either SGD Photography or Shan's Perspective. I do events and portraits. Either. Pick either one. I don't know if you were here earlier for my MVP speech and my little MVP rant, but just pick one. Do not let the lack of picking a name or the inability to pick a name stop you from getting started. Just pick one. Just pick one and fucking go with it, dude. Just gonna learn it slowly. I'm not trying to professionally. I'm doing completely as a hobby. Benjamin Rickerby. That's fine, man. Whatever your prerogative is. Whatever your prerogative is. Pin it, please. Another comment. Mr. Yoshi. What up, Mr. Yoshi? Over in the YouTube land. Should I upgrade from my 5D Mark II to an R6 Mark II? Yes, dude. If you can afford it, yes. I'm in school right now and I use it for photos, but I want to do some other stuff. The R6 Mark II is a great upgrade from, it's a dream camera, dude. Dream camera. Is my light a little low right here? I'll bump this up a little bit. There we go. FX30 a lot better in videos than the FX30 is a dedicated video camera. Like it'll never overheat on you. So you can do a lot more video work with it than you would ever be able to do with the 6700. I think it's a better camera overall, for sure. Opinions on the A7 AS7 III for video. Thumbs up. Light was low. Yeah, I bumped it up a little bit. Yeah, also I appreciate you guys talking amongst yourselves, because one of the things that I enjoy, that I've been kind of noticing in these live streams that I'm doing, is that having me as the expert or the subject matter expert is cool and all, but it's impossible for me to know everything about every single camera. So if we can get a community together that has experience in different camera brands, like Dynasty over here has a lot of experience with the Lumix stuff because that's what he uses. There's a lot of value in being able to talk to each other about your guys' experience with the cameras that other person might have or might want to own at some point, you know? When I get unlimited money, which will be one day, I'll dip my toes in every single camera brand. I think next up, the next camera brand that I want to buy, if I'm going to buy a camera brand, another camera, excuse me, is I might buy a Nikon. I might buy a Nikon. Don't tell anybody, guys. Don't tell anybody. Yeah, right. Thank you, TMV. I got you, bro. I got you. Bro, some advice. You just take a 67. Advice. You just take the 67. Should I kept or the... I don't know what that question is right there. Anwar, try that question again. Mr. Yoshi, comment from YouTube. What up, Mr. Yoshi? Have you ever used the EF to RF? I have. If so, how much noise do you experience? Noise? Not really any noise. The only thing that I can tell you about an EF to RF adapter is invest a couple more dollars in buying the Canon branded one. The only time I ever see people having issues with it, connectivity issues and like other autofocus issues, is when they're using the third-party EF to RF adapter. So spend the extra bucks and buy the Canon branded one. What is my dream camera? A Leica. A Leica, I think it's called the Leica M11. I actually don't know much about Leica brands, but I know that I want one of these. Look at these, Julia. Oh, that's used. I don't want a stinky used one. Here it is. A cool 13,000. You know, no big deal. Oh, this one has a lens though. That's why it's so expensive. Look. When it doesn't have a lens, holy shit, that lens is expensive. When it doesn't have a lens, $7 grand, you know, no big deal. I'd probably buy, let's see, 35 f1.4 is crazy. Maybe I'd buy this one. 10 grand, you know, for the 35 f2. Yeah, no big deal. Unlimited money kind of stuff, you know. Oh, this is the M6 though. M6, not the M11, but it would be a Leica. It would be some sort of Leica. Bro, I just bought a A67. Should I keep it or switch to the Sony? What's wrong with your 67? If you like your 67, use it, man. Take Taka Braun. Tips for trying to do similar setup as well in a small room. Taka Braun, good question, buddy. I actually drew this up the other day. This is actually my, not to scale, pretty much to scale, actually, not gonna lie. This is my setup right here. So this is my chair. Let me lock all this before I fuck it up. This is my chair here that I'm looking at. I got a light here. This light is currently turned off, but I can turn it on like that. And then I have this light blasting me with a key light as a key light. And then this little thing right here is a spotlight. And that's what's creating those shapes up there to give the wall some dimension. And then this little tube light right here is right here. And then this light is the one that's way back there. And I think you can see a little bit better in this angle. And I have no lights over in this corner. I have no lights over here in this corner because I don't really need any lights over here. I could add a couple, but because my cameras are facing this way, I don't really have any lights. Oh, actually, you know what? Here is the rest of my room. Check this out, guys. I got this camera right here that I can control. See, look at that. I need to make sure that that's straight. I'll spend some time cleaning it up. So this is a pretty small room too. But this camera right here is for like showing products and stuff on my desk or a camera. Dynasty 9000, that's fire. Thank you, bro. It's the way bro got every angle covered. Yeah. By the way, guys, I am dual streaming, multi-streaming they call it, to YouTube and TikTok. This camera up here is an R50, excuse me, with a 16mm lens. That's this guy. And then over in TikTok land, I'm using an R10 with a 23mm, and that's what this looks like here. The 23mm gives me, and it's an f1.4, so there's some nice blurriness in the back. And if you guys notice, like around these lights right here, around this light, there's like a nice glowy effect. I don't have it too pronounced because the light is facing away, but watch when I do. Oh, actually, you know what? I can do this. When I do this, you see like that glowy effect that I have? It like kind of is like surrounding it. That's from what's called a black mist filter. Black mist filters do a couple of things. They soften your skin, so like they're really nice for beauty content. A lot of women use them because they want like that soft skin look. And somebody was somebody asking me about that earlier? I have a list of them here. These are the ones that I use, the K&F Concept. And they sell different different strengths of them. The ones that I like are the 1/8, but I also use the 1/4 ones, and that's what gives the lights like that soft glowy kind of look. This is probably a little strong, but that's what gives it that it's called halation. Can you just do that in post? Not always. Not like the way you can do it in camera. Get an Ari Alexa. Ari Alexa would be nice. Should I buy a Ricoh GR3X? You should, Aiden. What do you use for your product cam and overhead? Oh, this one? This is a R50V. And I use this as like my product camera, where I can like zoom in and stuff. But I use an R50V with an 18 to 50mm lens. Super cinematic. Cinematic. I wonder if I should get an EF 70 to 200. Yes. Or the RF 70 to 200. Ooh. Shani, what are you doing, Shani? If you need the reach, dude. I like the 70 to 200. I have the 70 to 200 f2.8 because it's shorter. So I prefer the shorter one. It does extend, but it's easier to pack away. Do you think taking pictures in auto is criminal? No, definitely not, dude. Definitely not. Most people, what they do is when they mess up, when they just get started, is they start in manual way too quick and they don't know what the fuck's going on. Gonna swap out the ZVE 10 Mark 1 for the ZVE 1. Nice, dude. Yeah. ZVE 1 is expensive. It's an expensive camera, but she's nice, dude. Bro, your setup is what I aspire. Bro, I even have a fucking, it's a mess in here, but I appreciate you saying that, man. All of this is lighting. Most of this is just like understanding lighting and understanding framing and like where I have everything, you know? Is the Canon Rebel T3i good? It is not. Can we get a room camera tour? I can't because I don't have a mobile camera set up right now. I've done mobile tours before, but right now I don't have anything set up. I have tons of videos on my TikTok though, where you guys can see what my room is. I might do a YouTube video about that though. That'd be kind of cool, right? Akash, Canon R5 Mark II or R Mark III mainly for... I would do the R5 Mark II. Is there such a thing as universal settings for soccer pictures? Not really. Not really. What lenses should I get for car photography with an A7 III under $500? I'd probably get like a 35mm prime or a nifty 50, a plastic fantastic. Is your YouTube in your bio? It is. It is, you guys. If you guys go over, I'll walk you through. Actually, I'm meaning to do this the other day. If you guys go to my TikTok and you guys go to my account, underneath here is a link in my link in bio. You can see this on mobile. It's called Beacons. And this is what I use. And my YouTube media kit, my TikTok, my Instagram, and my website is all here. And then this is where you find the Amazon pics of where I'm looking like for all the products that I actually recommend. So all you got to do is go to my bio, click on my page, and then you click this link, and boom, here I am. And there you can find all my links. I'm saying I'm going to give him my ZV-10 body and a 1300 on top of the ZV-1. Good deal. Am I losing? I would just probably buy it brand new. That camera, how much is the ZV-E1? The ZV-E1 is expensive, bro. It's like $2,000, right? Why is he trading? What does he get out of that trade? Woo! This camera is expensive, bro. Damn. It's a nice camera, but I don't know if it's $2,500 nice, bro. That's a lot. I thought this was $2,000 or less. That's a lot. Is it worth it? Sony's expensive, bro. Those people that say that Sony's cheaper, they're lying, bro. They're lying. Hey, thank you for the sub. Thanks, bro, for the FX3. Seems to be the move. I've been confused with the 6700 A7 III. Your chat isn't coming up. I appreciate that. Who is that? Shakir, God bless you, man. Thank you for the, what is that called? The super chat from Shakir. I need to get some horns. That's what I'll do. I'll add horn. One of those like do. Add horns to the sound effects. Let me read your question, buddy. By the way, the super chats is the way that I'm going to be doing portfolio reviews in the future. So if you guys are interested in portfolio reviews, I will be doing them over on YouTube via the super chats. Let's see. Thanks, bro. FX30 seems to be the move. I've been confused between the 67 and the A7 IV. The FX30 would leave budget for good lenses, and it has cinematic touch. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Can I pin this? I want to pin your comment. Add as a moderator, hide, nope. Yeah, Shakir. I wish that I could see my stuff over here. Shout out to Shakir. Thank you, Shakir. Consider me a new subscriber. Okay, thank you, Taco Baron. Appreciate it. I think I seen that window lighting that's on your wall is on TikTok. It looks like a flashlight. Yeah. So I have it right here, guys. Let's see. I can show it to you. I don't think I've added it to my. Maybe I'll add it. We'll do a YouTube setup. Maybe I'll do a live setup. What it's called is called a gobo. stands for go between. And I have 3 of them. Browse history. Let's see. Small rig gobo. There's this one. And then there's a newer gobo. This one, I own this one as well. All of these were sent to me, by the way. Full transparency. And then I have a Photool X gobo. But they all essentially work the same. Here it is. And actually the one that I liked the best was the Photo Olex one. So this is the one that I like the best. $42. It is a 10-watt light, so it's not super powerful. The reason why I like the Photool X one is because it came with a little carrying case and a bunch of accessories, and the accessories were made out of metal, and the cup on it was magnetic, so you could stick onto it. The other ones you had to like insert it. It was finicky. These ones you can just like boop. It was a clean use of it. And obviously the one that I'm using is like a window one. And it comes with all of these other kind of go-betweens that you stick in between the light to give you like a pattern. Shakir, no worries, man. Last thing, what lens would you recommend for the FX30 for IG Reels, mostly some YouTube? Bro, Shakir, if you're going for the FX30, broski, I'll tell you it's this one, man. I have it here. It's the 17-40. If you can fit this in your budget, bro, this is the last lens that you'll ever buy for that camera. It's a Sigma 17-40 f1.8 art lens. This lens right here, broski, is the lens of lenses for crop sensor cameras. I have it here. That's this guy right here. 17-40 f1.8. This lens right here and this camera is my everyday carry, and of course they make it for the E mount. But this is probably the last lens that you'll ever need for that camera. It is expensive, but if you're gonna get one lens that does everything that you just said, this is the guy. This is the guy. Pepe El Unofficial, bro, you got a full view on YouTube? I do. Yeah, that's the camera. That is the camera. Meanie. Hi, bro. Is the Tamron 35-150 f2.8 better? Or the Sigma? Ooh. What are you trying to do? I would, if you can get by with a 24-70 focal range, I'd get the art lens, but that Tamron 35-150, I think it's an f2 to f2.8 if I'm not mistaken. That's a nice lens, dude. They made a new one, a 35 to 100 f2.8 that is coming out soon. That's a really nice one too. Tito Gab, hi sir, I have a Nikon D7000 planning to upgrade with a tight budget. What are you looking at, Tito Gab? Would you recommend buying a camera equipment off MPB? I would. Notification, I do actually. Photool X. Dynasty 9000. Again, you can find, you know this, broski. You can find my links. It's my YouTube setup. And for those of you guys that are new here, you can find my links underneath my profile page on TikTok. Right here. And it's Amazon Selects. And here you'll find everything that I use. Those links, by the way, guys, they are affiliate links, and I do make a commission off of them, but they're at no cost to you. I get a couple of percentage points. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. You got it, broski. Meanie, using it for everyday type of photography. I think the Tamron is the way to go, dude. The Tamron's huge though, but then again, so is the 24-70. Both of them are huge lenses. I think the 35-150 is bigger though. But if you're asking me what I would get, the art lens is nice. That's a really good question. I think I'd go 35-150. Yeah, I'd go 35-150. The only concern is the weight of the Tamron. Yeah, they did Meanie. I'm not sure if you saw this, but B&H, I was looking at this the other day or earlier. Tamron, let me pull this up. Tamron 35-100. This one, they made it lighter. I'm not sure if it's more expensive, but they did make it lighter. It's the second version. Oh, it's actually not that expensive. Yeah, right here. $899, 35-100. And why this one came out is because they made it significantly smaller and lighter than the 35-150. Granted, you do lose 50 millimeters, but 35-100 is still crazy. For $899, yeah, that's a good one. What do you think of using APS-C lenses on? I would never do it, but there's nothing wrong with it as long as you understand that you're gonna possibly. The problem is, like, if you have a 24 megapixel sensor and you use a crop sensor lens on it, you're gonna lose a lot of those megapixels, right? Do you guys understand what I mean when I say that, by the way? So for example, consider this right here an APS-C sensor, and this a full frame sensor, right? When you use a full frame sensor, we'll say this is an APS-C sensor, okay? This right here. This covers up the entire, let's make this, just for you guys to like visualize this a little bit. So let's call this a APS-C. Oh, actually, hold on. Can I make this transparent? I actually don't know if I can. Anyways, there we go, right here. So what happens here, this is an APS-C sensor, okay? So this right here is actually a good illustration. When you use an APS-C sensor, lens on an APS-C sensor, it covers the entirety of the sensor. Now this right here, this is a full frame sensor. You take this lens and now you use it on a full frame sensor. This whole sensor from edge to edge, will say it's 24, but now because you're using a smaller sensor, now you lose out on all of can I use this? What the fuck? You lose out on all this sensor right here. So right here, you're only going to be utilizing the megapixels that are inside this sensor. So when you use a APS-C sensor on a full frame lens, this 24 megapixel sensor turns into only like 16. I'm making numbers up, but you know, that's a good visual representation of what's happening. Does that make sense? As long as you understand that, there's no issue. Was that a good example, y'all? Yeah, exactly. So if you have a 4K 60 and it uses the crop and you shoot in 4K 60, you're gonna lose those megapixels anyways. And that's okay if you're okay with that, you know. And a full frame sensor is, I mean, a full frame lens is like the size of the entirety of the sensor, like this. So it covers the entire sensor. You do lose some of this stuff still over here. Like you will lose some stuff, but like that's already kind of like understood, right? Now the exact same thing would happen if you put a full frame sensor on a APS-C sensor, a full frame lens on a crop sensor. That actually was a pretty decent visual right there for you guys to kind of see what I'm talking about. Shakir, thanks a lot, man. It was good talking head videos while walking outside in daylight, as well as podcast studio. Does it have all the boat? Yeah, it's an f1.8, bro. Shakir. So that's why I'm saying, like, it has the 17 millimeter range. Yeah. I use it as my everyday lens, bro. It's an f1.8. What is it called? What did I say? The 17. This guy right here. This is it, dude. F1.8 is gonna have all that background separation. I think, dude, if on a crop sensor, this is the last lens that you'll ever want to buy. Unless you need something super wide, you know? Shakir, I did miss your second super chat, bro. I got you over here. For some reason, I don't see super chats over here, which is kind of annoying. That's kind of an issue. I'll have to see if I can find it. I appreciate the super chat, though. Reply, thanks a lot. Does it have all that bokeh effect? Yeah. I used it on this project over here. I have one project where I used it. Let's see, it's on my Instagram. Let me pause this. I'll probably get in trouble, or I probably lose monetization for doing this, but that's okay. I used it on this project here. I'll just mute the music. But yeah, I use this lens for this project here. And right here, you can really see, like, she's completely in focus. I'm in the middle. I'm in a dingy ass subway in Philadelphia, bro. It's dark as shit in here. I placed her right underneath the light, you know, and then the whole background blur and the separation, you can see it very clearly here. If I had more light, I would have kicked the light like at her face a little bit. But here's another example, like we're focusing on her and then her whole background is blurred out. So this is my everyday lens, dude. Yeah, I used that camera, the R50V and the 17-40 on this. James the Bot, the reason I ask is because the camera I plan to get is an A7. Oh yeah, you already said that. Got it. Hi, brother. I mainly take pictures, 70-30 vid. Should I buy a 67 or an A7 III, or should I get a Canon? 67 I'd probably pick up. That's a nice hybrid. What Canon are you thinking about, Nano? Great video, man. Can I achieve results with this lens? Yeah, the FX30 is a better camera than the one I have, bro. For sure. Shakir, I do encourage you, man, to check me out in Instagram and on TikTok. And there, bro, if you ask me, is like, hey, can you show me what this lens looks like? I work with these cameras every single day, and I make content all the time. So feel free to follow me on my TikTok and my Instagram. And Instagram is really where I do more like stylized stuff. I don't really do a lot of product things. At least I try not to. And then TikTok is where I do a lot of product reviews and more lives and stuff. So this is where I'm more talking about like products that I actually sell. The Canon R50V. Here's another top-down shot paired with these. But the reason why I do that and the reason why I encourage people to follow me across all the platforms is because I make an effort to not cross post the same piece of content onto all of my socials. So I try to create unique content for Instagram, unique content for TikTok, and YouTube and Facebook. Unless a specific post does really well on one platform, then I'll test it out on another platform. But about 90 to 95% of my content that you'll find on every social platform, including YouTube, will be unique to that platform. And that's done with some intentionality. Unless, I'm repeating myself, unless it performs well on the other platform. Great video, man. Yeah. Any Canons that in $1,500 budget? The R8 is nice, but if you're looking at the 6700, bro, that's like a pretty nice crop sensor camera. That's like the nicest one they have. What kind of content are you trying? Oh, that's Caster Labs. The light above your head is way too bright. You think so? I kind of like it. Jim Giraffe, appreciate the comment. I like the color difference, the color tone on it. Appreciate for the advice. Yeah, no problem, bro. Yeah, the R8 is really nice. $1,500 is a nice budget. I'm not gonna lie. Shakir, also on my YouTube, I think I did make a video about all the Sigma lenses. The lenses that I recommend for any crop sensor camera, you guys, are the Sigma lenses. The Sigma lenses are pretty incredible, man. Pretty incredible. Wow, this live, I'm already at an hour and a half. This live is going by quick. Let's see, tomorrow I got a video to record. I'm gonna go live tomorrow morning. I'm currently going live twice a day right now, just because I'm trying to collect as much data as possible and trying to figure out what times are the best times to actually stream and to actually post. Jim Giraffe over on YouTube, thank you for the comment, bro. Are you just a YouTube camera guy that just sits at her desk talking cameras? There is none of your work on YouTube. Jim Giraffe, I do sit on my camera and talk about cameras, yes, but you can find my work on TikTok and on Instagram. You can find my freelance work there, and I work full-time as a content creator. That's my 9-to-5 job for a firm, but I don't publicly share those jobs, those works, because it isn't my content, because I get paid a salary for that type of stuff. But if you dig deep enough into my socials, you can find some hints of some of the work that I do. But mostly for my full-time job, what I do is I record long-form interview sessions for marketing purposes for a firm, and that's my actual job. Shakir, I'll check you out for sure. Can I keep editing on CapCut after upgrading? Yeah, you can use CapCut for a while, but if you want to do like serious color grading later on, you might want to go into like DaVinci Resolve or what's it called? Premiere Pro is what I use. Jim Giraffe, good grief. What's going on, Jim Giraffe? Let's check out your content. Jim Giraffe, 127 subscribers with a couple videos. Not too bad, buddy. Not too bad. What kind of content do you make? Looks like you're working on some engine parts. There's a good niche for that, man. There's a good niche for that. I took a plunge and purchased a Leica Q3. Woo-wee. Nice, dude. I took a plunge and purchased a Leica Q3. Oh my gosh, I do love it. I'm going to purchase the 43 to complement it, that lens. That's expensive, dude. And I'm coming from a GFX system, which I still own. Is the GFX the medium format? You got money, sir. You got money. EOS R5 or the 5D Mark IV? R5, for sure. What would you recommend me spending money on after the camera and the lenses? Some good SDs, batteries, gimbal. Shakir, I have everything listed, bro, that I have for like my camera rigs and stuff. on my Amazon storefront, and you can see that stuff, all the stuff here. So this is everything that I've ever purchased for making content, from the accessories to the lenses to camera rigs, tripods, filters. I own 100% of all of these products here. So feel free to check it out there. But I have too much to recommend to really list out. Mics, lights, gear, all that kind of stuff. EOS R5. Jim Giraffe says affiliate link farming. Yeah, bro, that's the business that I have, man. That's the kind of stuff that I do. I don't think I ever denied that I was a YouTuber, man. My YouTube channel has been around for like 4 or 5 years. I'm pretty happy with it, man. Do you have an issue with my affiliate links or anything, or what are you trying to say? Or Jim Giraffe, are you just hating, bro? Is that what you are? Just a hater, Jim Giraffe? Kind of sounds like it a little bit. Renzo, what up, Renzo? Thanks for stopping in, buddy. How are you? What zoom length for the Sigma 6? Renzo, what are you asking me there, buddy? What's the zoom length? What's the zoom length of the Sigma 16 millimeter? It's 16 millimeters, buddy. I do my day job 4 days a week, which pays really well. Nice, dude. And then I have a small photography business, which is actually really profitable, and that's how I do it. That's how it starts, man. That's how it starts. But you have all that professional gear, that Leica, dude. Which one was it? The Q3, you said? The Leica that I was looking at was my dream camera, was the 11. Wow. Oh, this is used. What are they cost new? Like a Q3. Nah, dude. Do you remember when people used to make videos that were cool and fun? Now, Gabs just farm cash for their viewers. All right, Jim Giraffe. I think that you gotta go, buddy. Unfortunately, if you're gonna be a negative Nancy. See you, Jim Giraffe. Like how wide is it? It's 16 millimeters. Actually, I'm using one right now, buddy. So this top one here, this is 16 millimeters. The only acceptable hate is Nikon. Yeah. Yeah, I think that guy Jim Giraffe was just a negative Nancy, Julia. You'll get that sometimes. You'll get that. Vanessa, thank you for the hearts. Appreciate it, Vanessa. Yeah, sometimes I haven't had any haters in a little while, or people that are just like negative Nancy's, you know, but I'm fully transparent about all the stuff that, like, I'm sharing information and sharing the gear that I have with the audience. Oh, I'm to dump for prime lenses. What you mean, bro? Libra, 16 millimeter is a prime. Oh, is that what you didn't understand? You're not a sensitive Susie. Yeah. Yeah, just a sad Sally, a negative Nancy, or somebody that is. But I've learned, Julia, that when you have, like, for example, right now I have people on TikTok and I have people on YouTube that are asking me genuine questions, and like the comments are coming in. So for me to pay attention and be like upset about this guy Jim Giraffe about making crappy content, or, you know, why would I pay attention to the one person that's a negative Nancy when I have all these other people that are actually like asking questions and we're having like a decent time, you know? Nevon Clark over on YouTube. Thanks for the comment, bro. Unfortunately, some people on this planet like to hate because other people are successful. They said as a threat, my day job is in counseling and I get these people all. Yeah, exactly right, man. And it's not, you know, those kind of people aren't unique to a specific like industry. You'll find them across the board everywhere, right? Just like for him to say like none of your work is on YouTube. I'm like, I clearly said just a second ago that I post different kinds of content across all my platforms. Like, and as far as like my paid work and stuff, like my full-time job, like I have some issues, some ethical issues or some ethical conflicts, I guess, with me sharing the work of the bosses that have paid me that haven't what's it called, that haven't approved the footage. You know what I mean? So I would never share that. I would never share that. But I do say also that if you guys really dug into my content, you'll see where I work and the kind of content that I do for them and stuff. I'm not like hiding it. But Nevon Clark. Yeah, exactly right, Nevon Clark. Good point, buddy. Good point. I just like the knowledge you share. Yeah, exactly. And we're hanging out, you know, we're hanging out, we're talking about stuff. And also we learn from other people coming into the chat and sharing what they do, right? Like the other day, or was it this morning or last night, we had somebody in here that was a professional photo editor for weddings. And I was like, fuck, dude, this person does this for a living. Like, incredible, dude. Incredible. Those are the kind of people that you really love to meet, you know, besides all you wonderful people, but the people that are in the industry that are doing it. You know, you can learn a lot from people that are actively doing this kind of stuff. All cool stuff, in my opinion. YouTube, if you guys are just joining, welcome in. The way that this live works is that if you have any camera questions, feel free to ask your camera questions. Let me know what it is that you're thinking about buying, what your budget is, and also what you plan on doing with the camera. But yeah, just closing on that negativity, dude, is it's better just to block them. Just to block them. Clearly my content isn't for them, and that's okay. You know, that's okay. That's totally fine. Google on. I don't know what language that is. Taco Mountain. Taco Mountain 69. I don't know what you're saying, bro. Try that question one more time. Their cameras, doggy. Hola, amigo. Saludos. Hola, Gustavo. ¿Cómo estás, amigo? I don't know either of those cameras, doggy, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Michael P. Libby, thanks for hanging out, man. I forgot you were here, bro. What time is it anyways? 10? Yeah, it's getting late for me too. What am I at? I got a couple more minutes here. Couple more minutes. I'll be on for another 40, 50 minutes. Gustavo Roldan. Renzo, okay, this is my final Canon R50 with a Sigma 16 streetwear pics for outfit pics. Read a book. Read a book? I've read lots of books, Taco Mountain. Do we have another negative Nancy? Is that 2 people in a row? Google on 95KD or Bukakatut 40 ton 5. I don't know what cameras those are, bro. Unfortunately, I don't know every camera. Yeah, I read lots of books, but I mean, I don't know what question you're asking. You're saying one or the other? Yeah, I don't know those cameras, bro. If I don't know something, I'm not gonna make it up, man. I don't know what those cameras are. So I Googled that 9050KD. That didn't come up. Let's see what this other Bugakatukt Ornitron 5D. Yeah, what are those? Let's see if this is a camera. That didn't come up as a camera either. What the fuck? What is going on? Yeah, I don't know. None of them came. Neither of them. I looked up both of them. Neither of them came back as cameras. Unless he completely spelled them wrong. Yeah, I got no idea. That's not a camera. Yeah. But yet I'm the asshole, right? Oh man. Let's look at Taco Mountain's account. Let's see what he's all about. 73 followers, okay. So this is that guy's account, guys. Taco Mountain 69. He follows 894 people, 73 follows. No video. Shit, dude. Yeah. If he comes back, let me know, guys. I'm gonna block him. Lonely Wrist from YouTube. What up, Lonely Wrist? Any cheap Fuji suggestion? It seems like used prices are on the up. Used prices are going up, bro. 100%. It's pretty close to the, yeah. So if they're, here's my thinking of like buying used, buying new, buying used. If the used price is between $200, like if there's only a $200 gap, I'd rather just buy the new at that point. But I'm seeing right now that some of the used prices are within a $100 price gap. So example, if a camera brand new costs $1,200, but it used cost $1,000, then I'd rather just save up and go for the brand new one and not worry about anything and just get that. If there's a price difference of $300 to $400, then that makes sense. But buying used for a couple $100 less doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And I hope, is that fair to everybody? Does that seem about right? That's how I look at it, truthfully. Nevin Clark, I shoot landscape events, 7 to 8 weddings a year. Ooh, nice, dude. You're busy, bro. This is why the Q328 and the 43 is my dream light combo. GFX was heavy for events. Yeah. Nevin Clark, do you run 2 bodies when you do all these events, or are you doing just one? Represent mine. I'm going to make the switch to Sony. You're switching from what? Izanami. Do I have a boo? Boo. No, I don't. I don't think I have one. I'll add one later. Jackson Snowden from YouTube. What's up, Jackson Snowden? I currently have a Sony a7 IV, but I don't know if I should upgrade to the a7 R5 or switch to Canon instead. Another person wanting to switch. What's going on? I mainly shoot street photography, landscape videos, and some videography. You have the a7 IV. The a7 IV is like perfect for what you want to do. Why do you want to switch, man? Why are you not happy with your a7 IV? Like, let me know, Jackson. I'm curious. Jax Snowden. What is it that you think you're missing? But the videos are very shaky, even with the inbuilt stabilization. I don't know if because of my Sigma lens. Jack Snowden. So that's the common thing that people that are just getting into video is like, it's common to believe as you're just getting started in video that the IBIS is supposed to help you in everything. And reality, IBIS to me, when it comes to video work, actually kind of ruins a lot more shots than it helps me personally. So, and this is true. I use this example all of the time. Like if you ever look at somebody that is actually handling a video camera in a professional setting, what do you often see them with? You often see them with this thing sticking out their back that comes in the front with a cable that comes down to like stabilize the shot, right? Or they're using a gimbal, or they're using that square thing, you know, or a bunch of other things. Anyways, I say all that to say, relying on IBIS for video and thinking that getting a better camera that has IBIS is gonna like solve all your problems is not the thing. Handheld shots, in my opinion, have a good place in like cinematography, but they have to be implemented strategically, very like for creative purposes, right? Like with some intentionality. Most of the shots that are done in like professional cinema work, video work, are done with stabilized equipment, or they're on tripods. I'm currently on Canon. Oh, got it. Bonsai Sagger, what's up, Bonsai Sagger? Did that help, Mr. Jack Snowden? So getting a different camera, Jack Snowden, with different IBIS, you're gonna run into a similar problem. Bonsai Snagger over on YouTube says, thank you for the YouTube comment. Looking to get an X100F, but the prices are nearly too much for me. Haha. Any XM5. Looking for some retro looking tactile cameras to go along with my dedicated VidCam GH5. If you like Lumix, bro, the what's it called? The S9 is really nice, but that's an expensive camera too, $1,500, I think. If you already have a Lumix camera, I always tell people, if you have an existing camera brand, try your best to stay in the same ecosystem if you can. Lonely Wrist, I'm between an XT3 or an XT33. Ooh. The XT33 is nice. 2 bodies generally, but I had my time again, I would buy a GFX 45 to 100. Yeah, I always rock 2 bodies for my jobs. In terms of freelance work though, because I have a full-time creative job, freelance work I only do maybe, if I'm lucky or if I'm actually working towards it, 3 or 4 freelance jobs a year. Not very many. I used to do a lot more when I was getting up and going, but not anymore because I have a full-time job, you know? When did photography exist? I think Leica started photography, right? Leica took the first photograph. Who created the first camera? (1816), bro. The oldest surviving photograph in 1826. But I think he worked for Leica, or what is known as Leica today. I just want to say I'm not rich snobby guy because I've got good gear. I don't think anybody was thinking that, Nevon Clark. I've got good gear. The other thing, you're a professional, man. It's like, you know, when I have a lot of professional gear as well, and it took me a long time to accrue all of this stuff. Like, I didn't buy this in one night. That'd be a lot of money, but I did amass it and accrue it over 6-7 years of me working in here. But all of the nice gear that I have is because I actually use mine to make an income. It would be like the exact same example if you stretch out the example to, like, if you go to a guy that's a professional mechanic, like he works on cars all the time, and you happen to go to his garage and he has in the corner of his garage a special piece of equipment that lifts an engine out of a car. You know what I mean? Like, that machine probably cost 5-10 grand or whatever, and the average person would never have that in the garage, but he uses that piece of equipment to make a living, to pay for his life and his existence, right? So the reason why I have nice gear, and probably you have nice gear, Nevon, is because you make an income with your stuff, right? Dynasty 9000, photography was invented in the mid-night 1820s and the early surviving permanent photograph. Yes, I think I just read that, Dynasty. Nikon ZF is a sweet camera for many. What camera are you thinking about? Okay, interesting. Okay, thanks, man. Bonsai Sagger. No problem, Bonsai. Thanks for the question, buddy. Jackson Snowden, do you think paying for a photography course is worth it, or should I just watch? What I would do, Jackson Snowden, I did a lot of YouTube University, and then what I paid for in terms of courses, there was a lot of value in them. I don't have one to sell or anything like that, so don't think I'm selling you anything. But when I paid for courses, I paid for editing courses for Lightroom and Premiere Pro. And I paid for like certifications for those because they helped me in my career. But if you go to YouTube University and start familiarizing yourself with a creator, and you like the way he talks and likes the way he like explains things, and he happens to offer a course that you can afford, there's nothing wrong with with paying for courses, in my opinion, if you can afford them. Gustavo, recién tengo la R50B, tengo un solo lente, el Sigma 18. Nice, ese lente es bonito. Ese lente o objetivo. Objetivo, dicen los españoles. Me gustaría comprar el 56. 56 es lindo, brother. 56 es lindo. A mí me encanta el 16, el 23, el 30 y el 56 también es lindo. Yo tengo todos sus lentes. El 56 aquí lo tengo, mira. 56. Aquí está, mira. De hecho, aquí lo tengo listo. Mira. Esto yo lo uso, y si lo voy a usar este 56, yo lo uso para portraits. Para portraits y el 56 es lindo para ese tipo de fotografía. ¿Cómo se dice portraits en español? And that's the lens that I'm looking at right now. This guy right here. I don't use it that often, but it's nice to have. Actually, Julia, if you're in here, I think you have you have the 56 as well. Give that a shot. When you're doing portraits of the girls. Retrato. So el 56, Gustavo, es bueno para los retratos. La razón que son buenos para los retratos es porque el 56 está bien, es como el 85 por ahí. So el tipo, lo que está muy cercano, you know, is like really punched in. No sé cómo se dice en español. I teach photography as well in my community, and I believe one-to-one lessons with someone that knows what they're doing is exactly, dude. Exactly. Like YouTube University and going that route is free. You can get a lot of exposure to a lot of different people, but Nevon Clark, exactly right, man. One-on-one. And joining communities. I've joined so many communities. For YouTube, I joined one for an entire year that was like $250 a month. And I learned a lot about YouTube in that community. After about a year, I got what I think I needed out of it. But while I was in that community, though, there was a lot of one-on-one conversations with somebody that was an expert, right? And I also have one-on-one consultation calls that I've only sold a couple of times for the people that actually want to like sit down and have like that one-on-one feedback. So there's a time and a place. I'm doing an Easter shoot soon and I'll try it. Yeah, you should practice with it. Julia, practice with it a little bit. You know what's good to practice with the 56 is still life. Still life photography, so that way you can get a nice feel for the length of it, or for the focal length of it. It's very, very nice. I got a couple new followers from this live. Oh, video blocked in some areas. Oh, I got some I got a monetization hit, guys. Erase song. We'll erase the song. Save. Confirm changes. That's okay. So whenever I share a Instagram video that has a copywritten song, my VOD gets demonetized. So I go in to the edit and then I just kind of cut out that segment, because likely there's not much information in there that's too relevant that I'd rather just cut it out, you know? Gustavo from YouTube. Cuando pueda voy a comprar el 10-18 y ese también es lindo, y el 56. Me parece con eso no me faltaría más nada. Ya, eso es un completo. Y si tienes el 10-18, Yep, perfecto. Y luego el 18 a 50 y luego el 56. Ya está listo, papá. That's all you need, brother. Brother. Yeah, that's the 10 to 18. Yo también tengo el 10 a 18. También es lindo. También es lindo. El que me gusta más, realmente, el que me gusta más es un poco caro, pero es el 17 a 40. Es este. Este lente que está aquí. Este es un f1.8. F1.8. Este sí es lindo. Sigma f1.8. Very, very, very nice. Pero sí es un poco más caro. Pero el 1850 también está lindo. Yo lo uso todos los días. Nevon Clark. My biggest tip, definitely buy used and buy the camera that feels good in your hands. Yo, Nevon Clark, that is a fantastic piece of advice, dude. When I can, or I tell people when they can, because it's not accessible to everybody depending on geographically where they live, is if you have an opportunity to go to an actual camera shop and hold these cameras. I'm not talking about Best Buy or Target. I'm talking to like an actual camera store where they can, talk to you, where they know about the cameras. Go there and hold the cameras, hold the lenses, play around with them, ask the questions, because not doing so is kind of like buying a car without test driving it, or renting or buying a home without looking at it first. Andrew B, thanks for checking out my stream. Hope it didn't hold you up. Not at all, Andrew. Yeah, man, I was really impressed. What was the topic over there, man? I was trying to get a vibe of what you guys were talking over there. It's cool to see you. It's cool to see somebody taking action on going live, though, man. The more you do it, broski, the better that you get at it. The more things that you learn. And I just started in November, so I'm no expert myself, but slowly getting there, right? There you go, bro. Nothing really, to be honest, just getting comfortable in front of camera. Listen, Andrew, one tip, if you're willing to hear me out. One tip for the just getting comfortable phase and doing that, set your stuff to just chatting. Like label the stream, your TikTok live stream, just chatting, or just chatting AMA, ask me anything. And when I used to do those, I used to do them just like this, just literally like in front of camera and just like sitting there. I'd have the chat right next to me, and just chatting AMA was really, really helpful. Because people would be coming in, and then in the description of that, I'd tell people who I am. And then I could add like a banner text in front, like, hey, I'm a camera expert, or like, hey, I'm a video audio expert, or hey, I'm X, Y, and Z. And TikTok does a fantastic job of finding an audience for you. Yeah, just chatting. I still do just chatting from time to time, and it still gets good feedback. But yeah, very cool, dude. Your feed was clean, dude. Your feed was clean, broski. Gustavo, cuando en el día sales a la calle, ¿qué filtro Andy usa? Oh, yo uso este, amigo, mira. Yo uso los Andy filtros que yo uso. Aquí los tengo, mira. Uso Polar Pro y KNF Concept. KNF Concept es una marca baratita, pero es una buena mezcla de barato y calidad. No es tan barata que la calidad del filtro es malo. Es un buen balance de calidad y de precio. Y Polar Pro, esta marca aquí, esta marca sí es cara. Esta marca sí es cara, pero también es buena. Es muy, muy buena. Pero cuesta más dinero de lo que para mí, what it's worth. But I use this one. This is the one that I use a lot. Actually, este que está aquí es este que tengo, mira. This one right here. KNF concept, and like I was saying earlier, the ones that I use have a black diffusion on it already. But I usually like, a mí me gustan los ND2 a 32 mínimo. Alrighty, guys, I am off for the night. I hit my time. For those of you guys that are hanging out in TikTok, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Julia, thank you so much for stopping by. Dynasty 9000, always a pleasure. Andrew, God bless you, bro. Keep it up. Keep up the streaming. I'm going to bounce. I'll be back tomorrow bright and early. If you haven't followed yet on TikTok, now is your opportunity to do so. On YouTube, I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. I'm doing these lives as often as I can. I'll be back tomorrow. If you have any questions or you think about anything, please save them till tomorrow. I'll be back then. Toodles.